Very good morning. In this class, we're going to see how are we supposed to write a job application and followed by how we have to prepare our resume. This job application is also known as a cover letter, so don't get confused. When asking you to write a job application and resume in the examination, don't think something. It is nothing but cover letter and resume. So why are we supposed to discuss this one? See here, when it comes to resume, it is a reflection of ourselves. It is a shadow of ourselves. It's just representing ourselves. So most of the companies, why they are asking us to send our resume, they needn't talk to us. They needn't see us. They don't need our physical no presence. If you want to send your resume, they will come to know what kind of person you are. So in order to know that, and moreover, in order to know what kind of achievements that you have done, what kind of certificates that you have done, and what is your current status, to know that they're asking us to send this resume. When we encounter each other, there might be a chance to give wrong information. But when it comes to this resume, it is going to be authenticated. So that is the reason, and this document will be filed also for future reference. So in order to know better the candidate, most of the companies are asking us to send this resume. Along with the resume, they're even asking us to send a job application, nothing but cover letter. So in this cover letter, we're going to tell how far we are actually suitable to this position that we are actually applying for, and what kind of skills that we actually got. So we're going to discuss each and everything in this cover letter. So after this class, most of you might be having a confusion that as a fresher, not only here, now, of course, now you are into first year. When you go for final year, you might be having a dilemma saying, or else you may search in Google how to prepare a fresher's resume. But I'm telling you one thing: if you listen to this class carefully, you needn't search anywhere, you needn't go to any person, or you needn't refer any book to prepare your own resume and to prepare your cover letter. Such a way, the explanation will be made. So you the one who's supposed to be in the position to understand, and you the one who's supposed to be in the position to ask a question if anything rises. Let's see what and how are we supposed to write a job application first, and later we're going to discuss so how are we supposed to present ourselves in a resume as a fresher.
Welcome back to the next video. That is, how are we supposed to write a resume as a fresher? Because it's going to be a most confusing part because with the people, most of the times getting confused. How are we supposed to write a resume? What is there in a resume? And we don't know what to put in our resume writing. This is what actually we feel every time. But I'm telling you one thing that you can easily write your resume because if you still just follow the contents what you're actually seeing here, so what all the things that you're seeing here, if you just practice them, you can easily write your resume. And when it comes to a fresher and as well as an experienced person's resume, there will be a lot of difference. There's going to be a lot of difference. But we, the people, when we're going for a job as a fresher, we have to attract the HR or the recruiter. So how are we going to attract? See here, our resume walks before us. So for which they need not to interview you or they needn't call you. So on seeing your resume, people will come to know so what you are, where you are, and how you are, and whether you are a worthful person to be in this organization or not. So for which we the people supposed to be careful in write when we're writing a resume. Let's see how are we supposed to write a resume as a fresher. And see here, as you're seeing here, so on the A4 sheet, first on the header, first you should write your name clearly and followed by your email ID and mobile number. These are the only points that you must have, that you must hold on the header of that A4 sheet or of that resume. So, or else you can do like this. On your left side, you can paste all these details, means your name, email ID, and as well as mobile number. On the left side, you can paste your stamp size photo or passport size photo. passport size photo better. It looks good. So you can use the header space like that. And after writing these details, later you have to step on to objective or career objective. So most of the people they write the objective, and some of the people do write a career objective. Don't get confused, both is same. So what do you want it to be in your future, and how you wanted to see yourself in the future, so is going to be discussed in this objective point. And next one, you're going to write academics. So academics are nothing but your educational qualifications. See, when we are writing something, make sure. So whenever we are writing something, make sure the people supposed to be impressed about the language that we are using. So if everybody start writing educational background or educational qualifications, so there's a good point to discuss or to peep into our resume. If you start using some good vocabulary, which is completely different, no, different from your friends, it would be always better. So that's the reason we stopped writing educational qualifications, whereas in the place of that we put it as academies, and followed by skills. If you got any skills that you have to write, and also we're going to discuss computer skills and our computer knowledge can be said. And if you have performed or if you have done any certification courses, that can be mentioned. And take it for granted, when we are into final year, we're going to do the project. So you can talk about the project details, and also you can write about accomplishments or achievements. If you have achieved any other things, it can be discussed over there. And after doing all this is the primary data and this is the secondary data. So in the secondary data, you're going to give your personal details, your father name, date of birth, languages known, nationality, and as well as hobbies, followed by the address for communication and the signature. Signatures is supposed to be done manually. And remember one thing. So in the personal details, you need not to talk about your sex. Sex means here whether you're male or female, because on seeing here in the beginning, on seeing your name, people will come to know whether you're male or female. So for which you need to write the sex. And obviously you are applying the companies which are located in India. So for which you need to write the nationality. Some people do write nationality. It's okay, well and good. But if you're, what I'm suggesting you, if you're applying for a job in abroad, then you can mention nationality. That looks better. And sometimes people do write a date of birth. The date of birth, you can mention your month and what you call the date. But sometimes it is always better to no give year to, so that they will come to know your birth year is, and the further things for further no confirmations. That is how you can actually write. And when it comes to languages, no, make sure. So how many languages that you really know, so that only you should talk about, and that is how you actually write, or this is how you actually paste the details when it comes to the personal details. And when it comes to address for communication, please do fill the details where you actually stay, because if you write your permanent, sometimes they ask permanent and present address. If you allow to work further, you can also write the your permanent address, and it is sometimes better and always advisable is you better write the address where you actually stay, right? Let's see uh, in detailed explanation of this resume. Yeah, as I told you, so I wrote my name, Victor Emmanuel Raju, and followed by my mobile number and the email ID. So you can place either here, excuse me. Yeah, as I told you, you can actually write this side, or you can write that side, and followed by objective. So as I told you that, so what do you want it to be in the future, how you want it to see yourself. So that is what need to be discussed in the objective. And this is more specific. Some of the companies are actually looking into this objective and wanted to ensure how you wanted to shape yourself in the days to come, as long as you're going to work in their company. So each and everything matters a lot when you put or when you write something in the resume. Make sure of that. And next, as I told you, the academics. Academics are supposed to be written in a chronological order. Okay, so right now I'm also pursuing post-graduation diploma, and followed by I completed all these courses. So I mentioned over there along with the percentage. Remember one thing: whenever you're writing about your academics, some of the people actually go on with their what do you call that table. But what I'm suggesting you, instead of going with the table, if you write like this in a paragraph or in lines, people will come to know where you actually stand in English language, because we're going to use a different starting of the subject here. So for first thing is here, as I'm pursuing, I wrote pursuing post graduation. So I completed. So here got first class in master's degree, and I have completed my bachelor's of education and secured first class and scored the percentage in. See here, each sentence, each line actually begin with a different word. So we the people, whenever we are writing something, make sure you should not use the same words which are actually used in a sentence. So redundancy should be avoided. Okay, that is how you have to write. So when it comes to skills, what kind of skills that you have achieved? So here you can generally discuss ability to work independently as well as a team. So most of the people are some of the people are very flexible when working independently. They're not much flexible when it comes to team. But we BTech student should not be like that. We have to be more flexible to work independently, and flexible at the same time when it comes to team performance. And followed by, you have to talk about your strongest trait, that is attention to each detail. And whatever the thing that you're performing, whatever the thing that you're actually doing, so you have to have a keen observation. And also you have to tell what the best quality that actually enhances you. And followed by see here, since systematic, organized, and able to handle the pressure. This is very important point, because if you are unable to handle the pressure, you're going to face too many problems, and sometimes even they may fire you from the job. So that's the reason you should be in the position to handle the pressure. And also you can tell that you are a quick learner, you are a confident person, and as well as a hard worker too. And these things can be discussed when it comes to the skills. These are all called interpersonal skills, which you need to hold and which you need to discuss when we write a resume. And followed by, as I told you, computer knowledge or computer skills. So what computer skills that you got have to be discussed here. Proficient in basic use of computer, and I'm internet savvy. So what all the computer skills that I have got actually here. So those things actually I mentioned. You people, when by the time you complete your BTech, you might have achieved some knowledge when it comes to this computer. So you can mention all of those, right? And next, when it comes to the experiences, so I have experience here. So I have experience, so that's the reason I mentioned my experience. So currently I'm working as an assistant professor of English and so on so blah blah blah. I wrote because I have experience. If you don't have any experiences, or if you don't have any other thing, you just skip this column. Okay. So certifications. So what are the certifications that you have done, that you have performed? I'm telling you, to give you more weight, to give if you are expecting that I must be given must first priority, you have to do these certifications during your BTech. So then only you will be given first priority than others. So here I have performed certain certification courses, received a certification from TESOL course, and for personal communication skills, and as well as work grade for completion of 1 year Oxford University Plus score. So these are my certifications, which actually helps me to get the job in a better way. So whenever we are talking about those things, we have to be very careful. And when it comes to project details, so you have to write about the project that you actually performed, or else if you are doing any internships, you can mention over there. And followed by accomplishments, what all the accomplishments that you actually gone through, that you actually holding as of today, and you must mention them. So right now, one of my accomplishment is I'm acting as a chief editor of our college newsletter magazine. And followed by my accomplishment, I received a merit certificate for a highest rank in the subject called history at the time of undergraduation. And also I actually acted as a team leader for our college natural disaster organization. And when I was a student, I was a CR. So CR, continuously doing that for 3 years shows the ability of a leadership. So we the one who can highlight such and things if you have done a work before. And next, later, if you receive any other no, what do you call, um, awards and rewards, you can mention over there. So as I told you here, you can write your father name, nationality if necessary, date of birth, and followed by languages known. Languages known doesn't mean that it is not the language that you actually speak of your mother tongue. You should not write your mother tongue, my dear. So other than your mother tongue, what all the languages that you knew that they are supposed to be written. So I knew English and Hindi, and followed by French I'm learning. So that's the reason I put that, I mentioned even that thing in the bracket. And followed by my hobbies. My hobbies, my traveling, playing books. And remember one thing, sometimes even they're going to ask some questions from hobbies too. So be careful what you're actually writing. And followed by contact address and the signature, which will need to be done manually. So this is how we actually write a resume as a fresher. Remember that. Okay. And next one, some of the companies are asking, some of the companies are actually asking us to forward cover letter or job application letter. What is this cover letter? What is this no job application letter? How are we supposed to write? And even we're going to discuss this one. So these are the main features of a cover letter. These are the main features of a what do you call job application. The first thing is here you have to write the salutation, followed by mention the job that you are applying for, and followed by discuss your experiences and skills in detail, and later provide the employer's need and prove you can how you can actually help, and encourage the reader to read your resume. You need to add certain bullet and interesting points and end with a call to action. After reading this one, he must be in the position to call you back. Okay, yeah, that is the thing. So next, see here. I'm giving an example over here. See here. As I told you, we have to write this salutation followed by, as you have seen here, mention the job that you are applying for. So here I actually mentioned, just a second. Yeah. So here I'm trying to apply for the job. What is the job here? So English lecturer position. So I'm going to discuss those things, and after that I have to discuss my experiences and as well as skills that I have got. So this is my skill and experience part. So I discussed each and everything in detail so that they'll go through it and they'll come to know what I have performed earlier and what kind of skills that I have achieved before to this one. This is how it actually goes. And later, the last point is here. You have to provide the employer's need and prove how you can actually improve, and as well as you can actually make that reader. You have to make that guy read or go through your what do you call the work, your job application. That is how you have to create. See here, I discussed my strong areas and how I actually worked and my work environment. Everything is actually placed, and followed by I just dropped my contact address and contact means here how they can actually contact me. I gave my mobile number and followed by my email ID. And sincerely, I just left. I just wrote sincerely and followed by name. And I have to mention this one. When we are writing a cover letter or job application, you have to mention what you have enclosed. So first thing you have to write a job application and followed by the resume. So this is how actually the things would go. So we being a fresher when you're applying for a job, so these are the things that we have to keep in our mind. Okay. So whenever you write a job letter or a cover letter, so for a resume, these are the steps that you have to follow, and followed by the things what we discussed to make a resume as a fresher. These are the things you need to insert when you write what do you call that, a resume. So this is what is all about. How are we supposed to write a resume as a fresher, and followed by what do you call that cover letter. So if you still got any doubts regarding to this one, you can ping me on WhatsApp or else call me. Thank you. See you in the next class with another video.